All right. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I was looking at the video from last week's recording. I was actually listening to it, and it wasn't quite as clear as I wanted to be. So here we are, recording this all over again. So my name is Tess English. I'm the Assistant Scout Executive in Gulfstream Council. And I'm here today to talk to you about the 2025 Fall Membership Kickoff. Today we're going to go through a couple of things on the agenda, that being the sign up night overview, sign up night process, completing the paperwork, common mistakes that are made with when it comes to sign up nights, the Cub Scout recruiting plan when we look at it from fall, summer, spring, and all those different phases, the role of the commissioner, what they should be doing and can be doing to help you guys as a pack. Back to the pack. What is that? And why should we have that event? Some marketing and upcoming priorities of what is next after this meeting. So let's jump right in.
I didn't really have much growing up, but I did have a mom, and she gave me a strong foundation. I began playing football at a young age. I like to say I was pretty good at it, but my mom being my mom, she knew I needed something else. She signed me up for Scouts. I quickly fell in love with the outdoors. I even built a really fast Pinewood derby car. It showed me how to take responsibility, how to work with other people, and how to become a leader. That made me a better athlete on the field. In high school, I even broke a couple records. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is I collected donations from my community to support those in need. And that was my Eagle Scout project. It took a lot of time. I wouldn't change it for the world. And a lot of people benefited from it, including me. Scouting made me the man I am today.
All right. So David Montgomery. David Montgomery is a fantastic person. He is actually coming in to be the spokesperson, brand new brand ambassador for Scouting America. And we are so excited to have David on board. Most people know him as a running back for the Detroit Lions, but what we know him as is Eagle Scout David Montgomery. So from Eagle Scout to NFL running back, we are so excited to have him on board as our brand ambassador. This fall is just gearing up to be one of the most exciting years of scouting. Not only that, National has just teamed up with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN to start doing some marketing, some clips, some commercials. So it's even more exciting. Those families that we've been trying to reach in different ways, this is another way that we will be able to reach them. So now that we know that our national organization is doing their part, we have to do our part here locally. So let's dive into it. What is a sign up night? So, sign up night is the opportunity to welcome a brand new family into scouting. And I say welcome because I believe that that is so important to make sure that they feel welcome. Sign up night should be simple, fun, and informative, right? It should be organized and effective. You don't want to take up a ton of time. You want to get them signed up. All of those little things that are specific to your pack or your troop, that can wait till the parent orientation. Okay. That meeting should follow very soon after the sign up night, either the next meeting or the one after that. But that's where you should answer those things. The sign up night itself should be fun and it should be informative. Where should you sign up? Listen, I know that, sometimes we meet at churches, we meet at civic organization buildings, but the place that you want to hold your sign up night is the school cafeteria. Why? Because that's where parents or family members are most familiar with. They're familiar with the school because they drop their kids off there every day. They know exactly what you're saying, or when you ask them to meet at the school cafeteria, they know exactly where to go. We run the barrier of inviting them to certain organizations, such as a church or a civic organization, because the family may say, I'm not a part of that. So, I can't join this pack because I'm not a part of that, that church. They don't understand our relationship with these organizations yet. So we want to make sure that we onboard them the correct way. So the ideal location is absolutely at your school cafeteria. When are the sign up nights? Now, I know that a lot of times PACs will say, man, it's really hard to split my manpower between the unit meeting and the sign up night. Well, I don't want you to. I want you to bring your manpower to the sign up night. Make that your PAC meeting at least twice a year, once in fall and once in the spring. Many hands make light work. So we really don't want to overdo this, guys. We're targeting Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, depending on when you meet as a unit, right? You want to arrive about 45 minutes early so that we can get everything set up so we're ready to go and we're ready to bring in these families, okay? The presentation should be about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the size of the group. If you have more families, you kind of want to cut the presentation down a little bit so that you can get them all signed up and still get them out within the hour. Scheduling the sign-up nights. So the staff is right now working diligently with the school districts to get the sign-up nights on the schedule. What we need from units is dates and times. What dates work for you? We know we're going to steer away from the first week of school because, frankly, it's just too busy. Not only for us, but in you guys as families, but it's busy for the school itself. So it's not ideal. So we will be steering clear of that. So make sure you're working with your local executive to make sure that we get the dates confirmed that would work the best. The price. This year in 2025, the joining fee will be $110 for youth and $75 regardless of when they sign up. Sorry, $75 for adults, regardless of when they sign up and it takes place. So this runs for a 12-month cycle. So remember, if you sign up September 1st, 2025, your registration doesn't expire until September 1st, 2026. Man, I don't know about you, but that video always makes me more excited to join scouting. And I've been around for over 10 years. Um, so let's dive into the Cub Scout sign up night script and what it looks like. So you want to arrive early, 45 minutes is what the suggestion was, and have a leader huddle, right? Let's go over who's doing what, who's going to run what, who's going to be that welcoming face to greet everybody. You definitely want to have that person. And make sure that you get everything set up. So opening, you always want to greet with a smile, have each family member sign in by grade, and have check-in sheets at each table. You don't want to just have one at the door, because what if you have 45 families? Then they're waiting in this big line, and that's their first introduction to scouting. That's not what we want. So we want to make sure we spread out a bunch of sign-in sheets so that we can get everybody signed in and get everybody seated. You want to set up the room by grade. So you want to do kinder, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all at different tables, okay? You want to start the meeting with an opening. This is not a PAC meeting, okay? So the purpose of scouting, fun, family program, the strongest PACs have the most parental support, something like that, okay? Keep it brief. And then also let them, we'll likely answer most of your questions throughout the presentation, but if we don't, whoever's designated, so-and-so will be able to answer those questions. Just pop your hand up after we're done with the presentation. All right, so you want to, like I said, you'll separate them into the groups, and then you can kind of give a little brief on the groups themselves. So kindergarten, you guys are the lions, the lion roar, and the tigers and the wolves, and you kind of want to go down the line. Also keep in mind that you'll probably have some youth who are there that evening who fall under that AOL category, but they're 10 and a half. If they're 10 and a half, they actually are going to go directly into the troop. So just keep an eye out for that. And this is also why it is so important for troops to be there that night when these packs are having these sign up nights, because that kid is so much more likely to join than if I tell them, oh, you know what, I got to call so and so and have them, from the troop and get you connected. Whereas if I go, oh, no, 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 Scoutmaster Evans is right over here and you can go and chat with him right now, they're more likely to sign up. So it's important for troops to be participating with packs. All right. So again, the membership fee is 110. Remember that. That covers the registration and the insurance for 12 months. Financial assistance is available if needed on a case-by-case basis. Please reach out to your local district executive in your area if you have questions. In Indian River or Treasure Coast, that would be Miss Tiffany Brown. Sailfish District, that would be Mr. Alex Connolly. Lighthouse is going to be Miss Candy Castrillo. And in Everglades is Mr. Eroy Burns. All right, so product sales, always remember to mention fundraising. We want these families to know that they can earn their way through scouting. Their kids can earn their way through scouting. It's vital and it's important that they know this. Looking at Mr. David Montgomery, the skills and stuff that he learned in scouting built the foundation of who he is. And we want to make sure that we're allowing that opportunity for these families and those youth as well. So make sure you tell them about popcorn, which we have in the fall, and camp cards, which we have in the spring, okay? It's a great way to underwrite your kids' scouting experience without digging into your own wallet. So we want to make sure that we inform them about that. Give a brief overview of the program. If the DENs meet, we meet twice a month, or we meet once a week, and then we do 3 weeks of DEN meetings and one day of PAC meetings, 1 month of PAC meetings. I'm sorry. So where they usually meet, how many kids we're looking at in each DEN. Excuse me. Do you want to talk about, we meet monthly at this place, who attends, and kind of give a brief overview of the DEN meeting versus the PAC meeting and what's the difference, okay? You also want to briefly highlight some of the upcoming events. For example, it could be CLAW, but make sure you say Cub Scout Learning Advancement Weekend, because CLAW is our own scouting lingo. Be a Scout Day, which is a great opportunity for them to get out at camp and just to have so much fun. And Spookery, which is our campery, which is so fun. It's going to be so exciting this year. I'm excited to see Spookery and Spookawaha just grow tremendously this year. You want to pass out the applications with pens, and then you want to walk them through the application to ensure that it gets filled out correctly. Okay, you want to go down name, you want to talk about date of birth is needed, we need the grade they're in, we would like to know the school they're in, so I would definitely emphasize that, and so on and so forth. Payment options that we have, we do take check, cash, or card, okay? If you're writing a check, you want to make it payable to Gulfstream Council, and then if you're paying with a card, we'll come around and process it. We do have a link for cards, just in case there is not a professional there that you guys can utilize. I do understand that you're doubling up when you have to put all the information in, but that's the payment system. So that's required with the payment system. So that's the only difference. DEN leaders. So DEN leaders are needed. So you want to make sure that you're taking the help when it's being offered. So when you set them down in DENs and you're like, okay, pick a leader, whoever's wanting to help. It doesn't matter if you have a tiger leader or if you have a lion leader, you can always use assistance. So looking for leaders in a positive way that evening to say, hey, we would love it if you would like to help. We're so gracious and we would love to welcome you into our family. Also, let them know you don't need any scouting experience, okay? I know it's always scary because, man, I don't know anything about scouting. I can't be a leader. Let them know and reassure them that we have the resources to train them and to make sure that they are top-notch leaders, okay? So we have all of that knowledge for them. They don't have to come with it. So we provide the basics training. We provide liability and insurance as which might be a concern as well. And then let them know what the commitment looks like. If there's more people, then there's less commitment, right? So we always want to have as many people helping as possible. So registration gifts, this is key. when we go in to do a rally, we get these kids super excited about scouting. It's so fun. The energy is amazing. I love being in those rooms. But we also make a promise to these kids. We promise them a gift. Last year we did rockets. I know that we've done sticky fish before, but we do it to just really get everybody excited. So if you are picking up a recruitment kit and you're doing our sign up kit and you're doing it without the professional, please remember to look for the whatever gift that we're doing for the year. Okay, we want to make sure that we follow through with our promise. We promised those kids a rocket. We're going to give them a rocket. In the closing, you want to announce when the next meeting will take place. Okay, ask the new leaders that you just signed up tonight to stick around just for a few minutes. Thank everyone and send them home. Then you also want to remember to leave no trace. You want to make sure that cafeteria looks better than it looked when we first walked in there. Do a quick little huddle with those leaders and get them, excited. Give them some information, take down their information. You want to grab their email because you want to send them the safeguarding youth training. You want to make sure that that gets done before the next meeting. And you want to let them know that it needs to be done. So a couple of things before they can start meeting, just a key reminder, they have to have their application filled out with their background check, and they have to complete the safeguarding youth training before they can actually start participating as a leader. So let's give them all the information up front and give them ample time to get everything done. Completing the paperwork. Encourage the PAC to make sure that you have a charter representative there that night and the committee chair. Why? Because they can sign the applications right there on the spot, and then they can go directly to the council office. If they cannot be there, make sure that you take them and you get them signed immediately so that we can get them in the system immediately, okay? You wanna make sure all the boxes are completed, including the signatures from the parents on the youth application. Families can pay via cash, check, or credit card, and you want to ensure that all the registration, the fees, the applications are all passed along to the local executive. The night of, if they're present, or listen, they will drive, they're out. If they're not present, they're typically at a different sign-up night, and they will come over and pick those up from you. Okay. If the unit wants to take pictures, absolutely, of the youth applications to get them inputted, that's fantastic. Do not take pictures of the adult application. There's sensitive information on those applications that we should not be taking pictures of, okay? We will get the information of the adults over to you, the basics, like I said, get their email, their phone number, and their name, okay? Okay. And then you want to follow up the unit leaders to make sure that they complete their safeguarding youth training in a timely manner. Some of the common mistakes. Leaders are not recruited prior to sign-up night. You don't want to take on all these tasks by yourself. You need help. So again, make sure you're coordinating your sign-up night with the night that you guys already have a meeting so that you can make sure that many hands make light work. Adults in BSA uniform. Now, listen, I've talked to a couple different councils with it throughout Florida, and this seems to be a common thing. So I wanted to point it out. So the uniform itself going into a sign-up night has come across as intimidating to some parents because you're a Cub Master, you're in your uniform, and these parents don't know what a Cub Master is. And they're like, man, I could never be a Cub Master. But in reality, that's just Susie's dad, right? So a polo is a little more welcoming to be like, hey, I'm Susie's dad, and I've kind of taken the reins to kind of be the head organizer of all of this, right? So we want, again, that key thing of being welcoming. When we did some of the focus groups, when we were rebranding nationally, one of the things that we found out was that we as an organization weren't as welcoming as we thought we were. And that's to be said because we have a lot of nuances in scouting, a lot of things, like I pointed out, we call CLAW, right? Which is Cub Scout Learning Advancement Weekend, but we say our own language and stuff like that. It's going to happen, guys. I understand it, but we also want to be as welcoming as we can be. So keep that in mind. So a polo or a PAC shirt, even better for those sign-up nights, just so that everybody feels welcome and nobody feels like, man, I just can't do this. This isn't for me. Scouting is for everybody. The youth applications are not filled out correctly. That happens. And listen, we just want to prevent it. So you want to make sure the key things, you run down that application and point out the key things. Then when the application is turned in, you're reviewing it again in front of the parent to make sure all those key things are filled in before they leave, okay? We don't want to have to call them to find out those little things that will prevent them from being inputted in the system. not having a volunteer huddle. You always want to have a huddle before the sign up night, about 15 minutes. After everybody's setting up and doing all the different things, you want to have a huddle and bring it back in. You guys are a team and you guys are about to execute on your mission. So it's just great to huddle and to get everybody's mind right back in it. And then let's get at it and make sure that these families join scouting. Inviting families, inviting or giving the families the option to sign up rather than telling them to sign up. So we want to make sure they took the time out of their day. They didn't have to come back to the school. We got them in the room. We did the hard part. Let's make sure that we seal the deal and they sign up for scouting. They want to sign up for scouting or else they wouldn't have showed up that night. So let's make sure that we do our part. We close the deal and we make sure that they have the opportunity to join this adventure. Number one overall issue is families signing in, but not signing up. So again, this touches back on what I was just saying. We want to make sure that since we got them in the door, let's make sure that they sign up with us. All right, the Cub Scout recruiting plan. Right now it's summertime, so the executives are working on the sign-up schedule to make sure that we have recruiting happening this fall. The executives are going to confirm those sign-up schedules with the principals and the unit leaders and whoever's on their sign-up team. Listen, we need your help because we have, in Everglades alone, over 109 schools to hit this fall. We can't do that by ourselves. So we need your help, even if it's little things to do flyers, to do, to do a sign up, just do one or two. We need your help. We are a scouting family and we need your help. We need to grow our family so that these opportunities can be spread throughout our entire council. So we need your help. If you can help, even with one or two things, please let us know. Let your executives know, and we would love to have you. All right, the districts are going to hold their training and their orientation so that each of the packs or troops can learn what we're looking for at these sign-up nights. I believe they're held in July in all of the districts. So please look on the calendar to see when the one specifically in your area is being held. I'm fairly confident they're going to be held on roundtable nights because we're already used to going to those. If your unit doesn't already have one, find someone to be your membership coordinator so that they can kind of take on this role. We do have a position description of what exactly we're looking for from that person, and we don't have that in the membership resources on the council website, but start looking around your pack and finding out who that might be for your pack. All packs should hold a back-to-pack event. That is important. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little further in. Submit your unit's peer-to-peer recruitment cards. So peer-to-peer recruitment cards are little business cards, and they're fantastic. We can put all of your unit information on the back. We can print them out, and you can hand them out to your little scouts, and they can go with their little business cards and invite their friends. It's so fantastic. It's peer-to-peer, and that's the best way that to get the word out about your unit. Update your Be a Scout pin. I can't emphasize it enough. Update your Be a Scout pin. All of this national branding and all of this stuff going out on Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN, working with David Montgomery, they're all going to drive these families to beascout.org. So if your Be a Scout pin is not up to date, when that family gets there, they're not going to join. And what's even worse is that it's slim to none that they're going to try again if they get there and everything's out of date. So we want to make sure going in that we have all of our bases covered and we are ready to go. So please update your Be a Scout pins. In the fall, before the sign up, we're going to work with the schools and we're going to be promoting with the parents. We're going to send out a save the date. We're going to send out another flyer. We're going to rally these kids. We're going to confirm everything with the schools and we're going to get them in scouting. Then at the sign up night itself, you're going to have the presenter, a staff member, or the sign-up presenter that's been trained, but no one presents without being trained. And volunteers arrive no later than 45 minutes before the start time. This allows everybody to know what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to be doing it, and we can work all the kinks out. All right. Wearing a polo or a t-shirt, Class B. And then we also want the commissioner to attend the sign-up night. I think it's important. That's a great way to talk about, okay, what's going on with the pack, updating on the health of the pack. Come to our recruitment night. It's a great opportunity for commissioners to get involved, and they can be more hands to help on deck. Have the date, time, and location of your parent orientation confirmed. You want to make sure that you let the families know the next meeting is this date, time, in this place, so that they know exactly where to go. After the sign up night, you want to make sure that the commissioner staff helps you out a little bit, right? Because safeguarding youth falls under training, and we want to make sure they get trained. So the commissioner and whoever might be designated in the unit, make sure you send out a link that says, hey, make sure here's the link for your safeguarding youth training. If you have any questions, let me know. But we want this process to be smooth and easy for them. The unit also makes the reminder, calls, texts, emails, WhatsApp, whatever you have for your communication that you want to make sure that the families who attended the sign up night, make sure that you have information for them so that you can send out reminders. Commissioner's role. All right, make sure you invite your commissioners to come out to your sign up night. They absolutely should be invited. This is a great opportunity for them to get involved with the unit and to do some checkpoints, kind of like I mentioned before. They can also help with following up with newly recruited leaders, right? And they can make sure they're successful with their safeguarding youth training, their leader specific training, and their leader guidebooks and supplemental materials. We did promise them resources. We want to make sure we follow through with that. And they can also attend and assist with your parent orientation. So talk to your commissioners and see what they're able to help with. Top down, bottom up. We want to reach everybody. Back to PAC. This is a fun, exciting event that we kind of took from some other councils that they were doing throughout Florida, and I think it's a fantastic idea. Okay, all the PACs are encouraged to host a special event at the end of summer to invite all their members to get re-engaged for the new school year. Okay, you want to have a theme. You want to make it fun. It could be a picnic. It could be a camp out. It's kind of hot in Florida, maybe not a camp out. But the key is to do something fun and inviting all the members to participate. Okay. Youth to the PAC your back to the PAC should be held prior to any sign up nights in the fall. You should also promote the event through your own communication tool, email, phone, social media, and everybody should receive a personal invitation. A lot of times we lose some of our families over the summer, so we want to make sure we invite them back to scouting because we want them to come back. We want them to join us again in the fall. Use this time for your leader engagement, and you want to make sure you invite them to fill out the talent surveys that you might have to find out who does what and who's good at what. And you want to show all the positions that you guys are looking, okay, here's where we're at this year. You might have had some turnover. So get everybody re-engaged in scouting and get them excited about scouting again. All right, marketing. This is fantastic. This kind of goes off of the 7-touch model that many people have maybe heard throughout the years. I'm not sure if it's still 7. We still go with 7. I think with social media and all the different platforms that we have nowadays, it might be less than that, but we're going to do more just because you never know. Beascout.org. We're working on some radio PSA in some of the different areas, the Save the Date flyer, posters in the school, yard signs, rallies in classrooms, stickers, sign up flyers at the rally itself, working on announcements, morning announcements, social media announcements. If they're allowed to wear their uniforms in school, that's even better. Peer-to-peer recruitment, we kind of talked about that earlier, school-wide communication, PTA, newsletter, all the marquee, all the different ways that we can get in to get people to know about scouting. What's funny is even here on the staff, we had 2 parents who, one, we were talking about marquees and what the importance of asking to be able to put on the marquee. And one of the staffers who has kids said, I never read the marquee. That's just not in my thing. I just drop my kid off. It is what it is. I never read the marquee. Then we had another parent who was like, I read every single thing on the marquee. I'm always reading the marquee. So that's the point. We want to make sure we hit all the families. So we have parents that won't look at the marquee, but maybe they'll look at the yard signs. We have parents that will look at the marquee and maybe they won't look at the poster. So we want to hit them from all different angles to try to get as many families involved as we possibly can. All right, so what are the upcoming priorities? So work with your existing families now because you want to determine the leadership for the next school year. What's the current parents, if they have younger kids, they want to serve as leaders, your line or tiger den, like what are they, those parent partners, you want to make sure you invite them back. And then also have them work within their networks. So who do they know? Their schools, neighborhoods, churches, extracurriculars, who can they invite that would want to join and might be interested in leading as well. Set the date for the unit leadership to meet and develop the plan for the next program year. So you want to, if this hasn't been done, we absolutely want to make sure that this is done. You want to work on finalizing your program, your budget, and then your leadership, and invite your commissioner to attend this event as well. Determine your back-to-pack event. It's exciting and it's fun, and I think that it will be very helpful to all of our packs. It's really just to re-engage your families and say, hey, we're still doing scouting. Come on back, okay? Submit your unit info sheet. You'll find that on the membership resources. That is helpful for your executive and your commissioner. Things happen, and maybe you guys can't make it to your sign-up night, and maybe I have to cover it because your executive is also covering another one. If you have that pack info sheet, I can just flip right through and go, oh, boom, pack 711. This is the next couple of things they're coming up with. And it looks great. It's smooth. The families in the room don't know that I don't know what's going on because all of our units are doing so many different things. But if I don't know when I'm up there and I have all these blank stares and I'm looking at them with blank stares, then they're going to be like, man, this organization is not very organized. So make sure you get that filled out and sent to your local executive. It's a key piece of information that helps us make sure that we have everything covered, and if anything happens, we still got you. We got your back. Submit your Ask a Friend recruitment card order so we can get those printed and ready to go for you guys. And ensure that your Be a Scout pin is current. I know I've said it so many times tonight, but I can't really emphasize enough how important this is. Just because all of this national help and support this year is going to be driving these families to beascout.org. So we want to make sure we're on top of it. We're ready, and we're ready to go and welcome them into our movement. Okay, so please update your Be a Scout pins and make sure it is current with meeting information, point of contact. If that person doesn't answer text or doesn't answer emails, maybe they shouldn't be your point of contact. So make sure you guys are going through and reviewing that every single year, okay? All the resources that we have listed can be found and are available at the gulfstreamcouncil.org/membership. We should have all the links up and ready to go. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm just so excited about this fall. I think that we have a real opportunity to truly grow our entire movement. Let's get out there and invite these families for the adventure of a lifetime. My name is Tess English, Assistant Scout Executive here, Gulfstream Council, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next training. Thank you.